Personal Inspirations, and today we're going to be talking about how we can celebrate with our spirit family. I had an interesting occurrence this morning when I was finishing up preparing for this webinar, and I actually had sitting next to me a box of my mom's old jewelry. And when I got up to finish the webinar and start recording, I actually had one earring just kind of bounce out and bounce onto the floor. So if you don't think you can celebrate with spirit, you are mightily mistaken, my friend. Spirit is with us all the time. And we can call on them and talk to them and have their presence felt all the time. Now, I didn't see my mom necessarily, but I could feel her at that moment when that earring fell and I went to pick it up. I knew she was there with me, and it was interesting that she was there with me and made her presence known when I was putting this together. But usually I see pinpricks of light, and I'll actually show you kind of a representation of what I see when I see spirit. I don't always see the form, although I can if I'm working with someone and someone comes forward, but most of the time I sense or see spirit as an iridescent, sparkly mass. So it's very interesting. It kind of scared me when it first started happening, because it was almost like I had something wrong with my vision. But as I progressed and as I understood what was going on, I kind of take that as that's just spirit, and then I kind of go from there and ask who's with me, and we move on. But today I didn't sense anything until that earring fell. So no matter which way you feel, sense, or just know that spirit is with you, celebrating wonderful days, whether that's holidays or birthdays or anniversaries or just any old day, know that just by even thinking of them will bring them into your presence. I'm going to screen share and we will get started with the presentation. Wonderful. And like I said, we're discussing celebrating with our spirit family. First off, what is spirit? That's a great place to start, because a lot of people think that spirits are souls and that's just like a ghost. And actually, I was very impressed by what I found as far as definitions go for the word spirit. So these are some of them. The principle of conscious life. Think about that. That means that even people who put dictionaries together believe that spirit is the principle of conscious life. And they go on from there saying it's like a mediation between body and soul. Supernatural being or essence. Conscious. There's that word again, conscious, incorporeal being, as opposed to matter. So what are we? We are spirit made manifest. We are a spiritual being having a physical experience. And so it was just such a breath of fresh air to actually read these definitions. It felt so true in my being that I was just grateful that we've come to where we are now, and we can say that yes, spirit is a conscious essence. It is our energy. So, and the thesaurus, these are some of the words that kind of went along with spirit. Energy. Totally and completely believe that. Warmth, definitely can feel that when spirit is near. Life, very true. It's in the definition. Essence, it is a palpable essence. And the one that got me was life force. It is your life force. It comes from divine, and it is your force for life. So different ways in which we can sense our spirit family. And this doesn't have to necessarily be ancestral family. This can be anyone or anything. It can be our pets. It can be friends that we've lost. It could be ascended masters or the divine family, such as Jesus or any of his angel or any of God's angels. And so we can sense our family, putting that all out there, since I believe we are all family, as a representation or something that is seen, like today with the earring, or clouds, or coins, or just about anything. This also goes along with smell. We can smell also perfume or cigarette smoke, or maybe just mothballs if we had gone into like an attic and we just for some reason have that in our brain as going to grandma's house. We smelled kind of that mothball smell. It's really interesting how things will show up so that we can sense our loved ones. Just knowing. It is amazing how many people can say, I just know that they're here. I just know it on a sixth sense level. What does that mean? It means our energetic bodies, our energy fields can pick up and sense when people are near, when our spirit family is near. And so just by knowing, we can sense them. Touch. A lot of people will feel touched or their hair stroked or their arm caressed or their hand held. A lot of people get that as a response. When they want to sense family, they can feel something, and sometimes it's out of the blue and unexpected, and so it may leave goosebumps on you just because you weren't expecting it. But then the wheels start turning and it's like, oh my gosh, that was a touch from spirit. And it's nothing to be afraid of. They're just letting you know they're right there with you. Some people can see their spirit family. They can see maybe a mass go by, maybe a mass kind of step out and look around the corner, or maybe a mass sitting in a chair. Sometimes it's just an outline. Sometimes it's kind of a smoky figure. Sometimes it's full blown, like another person is in the room with you and they're really not there. But a lot of people can actually see that. Now, it's not to say an all the time thing, but maybe at that moment, the spirit family wanted you to sense them so greatly that they were able to manifest again in physical form so that you can see that they are there with you at all times. So this is what I see when I'm not working on that other level where I can see them or sense them in other ways. How I see them is like this. It's a mass, and what happens is it just is an iridescent, sparkly mass. Now, I wasn't able to get it exactly. It's hard to do that, but if you ever cast rainbows in a quartz crystal, then you know what I'm talking about. Those little rays of light that just kind of seem to sparkle all around a room. That's what I see when spirit is with me and when spirit is in the room. It's beautiful. It is magical. And I just love being able to sense in that way. So how do we celebrate with our family when they're in spirit? Well, 9 times out of 10, they're going to already be celebrating. They're going to be in that place where you're celebrating. They're going to think they're welcome, and they're just going to be in the space with you, celebrating right along with you. just by knowing that they're there, when we know that they're there, when we have that conscious thought of them being in our atmosphere or our space with us, they manifest right then. They're with us. They know what's going on. And it's so wonderful to just know that we can call on them just as easily as we call on archangels and ascended masters and anyone else to help. When we go and give ourselves a few minutes of contemplation, what that does is it allows us a few minutes just to connect one-on-one with our spirit family and those loved ones that are back in spirit. We can think of them, we can send them messages, we can just in our minds and in our thoughts, just relay how we feel and how much we miss them or how much we love them and how much we love having them celebrate along with us. We can do this at any time, but if you give yourself a few moments break, that's going to help recharge your batteries for the rest of the celebration, but also it's going to help you have that one-on-one connection. Do something that maybe you did when both of you were present on Earth. Maybe you both had breakfast together when maybe everyone else was still sleeping. Maybe you two got up early and had breakfast together. Do those little rituals again. Do those little things. If you went shopping with a loved one on, say, Black Friday or then Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas or anytime, just think about that person being with you when you're going about doing your daily chores or the shopping trip, the major shopping trip for gift giving or just packing up everything to go to a special occasion. Just think of that person and do those rituals like you did when they were here in the physical realm, and they will be with you. You'll feel them. Set a place for them. Reserve a section for your family in spirit. They will appreciate it. They will probably occupy that space since it's for them. And you'll be able to celebrate along with them. It'll be like everyone is still there because they are, and it will just be, the atmosphere in the room will be just lightened because of it. Light a candle. Candles are magical and they are energetic. That flame is just a representation of that eternal flame that we truly are. That flame will help to recharge everyone's batteries and will actually help to call in our spirit family, because when we light it, there will be a reason why we light it. It's still that, just that intention. Setting intentions are the crux of anything that we want to call into our life. So just make sure to intend when you light that candle to bring in our spirit family, call them in for the celebration, and just know that they see it and they are headed your way. Don't forget about your pets in spirit, because they're still your spirit family. It doesn't matter what kind of animal. It can be an ant if that was a friend of yours. It doesn't matter. The fact is they're in spirit too. And you may feel a brush up against your leg or a tickle on your hand, or you may just witness a bird flying and you may think of your pet cockatiel that is in spirit now. They are there with you as well. And just the same kind of intentions that we set for our spirit human family can be set for our spirit fur baby family. Always, always, always remember that spirit is always with you. You can call on them at any time, and they are watching over you and watching over the happenings around you. And they are celebrating right along with you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate it. Let me stop share here. Thank you again. And as always, I'm sending you and yours and your spirit family love, light, and eternal blessings. You take care. Bye-bye.